tried to be honest with Amazon, but they were having none of it. I was telling this story in another forum and thought I'd share here. This was a year or two ago when Amazon Fresh were opening up new stores in London. For anyone not familiar with you just walk in, take what you want, then walk out. Your Amazon account gets billed as they use cameras and sensors. So I used the one in White City after it had just opened. I went in just for the novelty factor and got a few things. I found a couple of pricing errors, in my favor, a couple really big pricing errors. I done the decent thing and told Amazon, expecting a thank you, but got a call from an irate call handler insisting I got and was charged the correct amount and I wasn't overcharged and wasn't due anything back. I repeatedly tried in vain to say no, you've undercharged me, but she was having none of it, so I gave up. Naturally, after the call, I changed my tube commute for an 5-minute longer route and I went in each day and bought only those items priced wrong. Suffice to say I have enough toiletries for a few years. Also I am now sickened by a pricey cheesecake brand and have gone off halloumi cheese. Too long did not read. Got treated like a dick by Amazon customer service on the phone when trying to be honest because undercharged a lot on a few items in their fresh store. So went back each day and only bought they wrongly priced items to the point where I wiped them out daily of those items. Edit. For a bit more clarity on the prices, the cheesecakes and halloumi cheese were pennies in the pound. I paid about 2% of the actual price. So about 8p per £5 fancy small artisan cheesecake, and about 9p for the block of halloumi. The toiletries I paid about 6 or 7% of the actual price, so about 50 to 60p per item instead of £9 to £11 each plus its toiletries I'd have been buying anyway. Only thing now is I had to get a few big boxes in the garage to store them. Going via this store cost me nothing extra in travel as in London you get charged a fixed fee for unlimited travel within zones. It only cost me 5 minutes extra commute each day. Well, if any company can take a hit, Amazon definitely can. Sir person shrugging. Yeah, Amazon has a few times double shipped our orders and we have called to send them back, not wanting to worry about a second charge. They didn't care, told us to keep them. ND never charged us, so even if they undercharged you it's probably still profitable for them, so I recommend saving yourself from too much cheesecake. Haha. Last year our local supermarket offered free chocolate after you downloaded their app. As the greedy fat chocolate gobbler that I am, I ran to the store. After I went home I saw the offer was still up the day after. And the day after that. And lots of other days. I did got 2 more and told the staff that surely it was an error because I felt bad. I was able to keep the free chocolate but the next day the offer was removed from the app. Yay for pricing mistakes but boo for conscience. Amazon is pretty dumb. I wanted a price match on an exercise bike that went down $100 or so when I bought it a few days previous. They were adamant I return it and purchase a new one at the price I wanted, and wouldn't just give the money back. Faced with rolling eyes I already unpackaged and wasn't about to take apart a bike, and I wasn't going to return normally because there's a return fee. Had to get assurance that A, return was free and B, that it would be picked up since no way was I going to be able to carry the thing to a drop-off location. Ordered new one, UPS picked it up, had to take 2 tries, still in box where they left it 2 days previous, and get the refund. What a waste of everyone's time. Felt bad for those guys. Grimace. This reminds me of when Walmart had incorrectly priced my favorite table wine at $9.99 versus $19.99. Let's just say I cleaned him out. You went back every day and bought their whole stock. They probably made a lot more money off of you than if they priced everything correctly. Reminds me of a joke. Little Johnny is always being teased by the other neighborhood boys for being stupid. Their favorite joke is to offer Johnny his choice between a nickel and a dime. Little Johnny always takes the nickel. One day, after Johnny takes the nickel, a neighbor takes him aside and says, "Johnny, those boys are making fun of you. Don't you know that a dime is worth more than a nickel, even though the nickel's bigger?" Johnny grins and says, "Well, if I took the dime, they'd stop doing it, and so far I've made $20. There's a state law where I live that says if you find an expired product in a supermarket, the supermarket has to give you an equivalent non-expired product for free. This is of course to encourage supermarkets to keep expired products off the shelves. A couple I know noticed there was a huge, very expensive cheese wheel about to expire. They went to the supermarket every day to check if it was still there. Sure enough, it expired and wasn't removed. They called it out and were given like 500 Brazilian reals worth of cheese. When the owner is going to space on the back of the oppressive modern slavery regime entailed to Amazon workers, I wouldn't worry about correcting their mistake. I ordered a Suunto GPS watch with a heart rate monitor chestband from Amazon few years ago. The watch came but the heart rate monitor didn't. So I sent an email and they replied they were sorry I didn't get the item ordered and have refunded the purchase price. I then called customer service and told them I got the $300 watch. I'm just missing the $75 monitor it was supposed to come with. Guy says, no problem, we've refunded the full price. Anything else I can help you with? I tried to do the right thing. I guess I'll just keep the $300 watch for free then. I'm not going to force him to take my money. Good fuck em. Beautiful. It pays to always check your receipts. Time to buy favors at work and neighbors with cheesecake and other delicacies. One time at Safeway I found ground beef mistakenly labeled for 32 cents per pound. My broke ass dug through that whole pile, found the 4 mispriced one and felt like a motherfucker bandit. Maybe they were actually just hooking you up on the sly but had to act mean, so their Amazon overlords wouldn't flog them. That's what I'd like to think. Someone I know gets nervous easily and tried to tell a cashier she had been undercharged and bizarrely it escalated to a guard sternly telling her to leave the premises. All she wanted was to pay for her candy. I have been mis-shipped products of $200 plus value twice, and when I tried to return them to Amazon as a mis-ship they gave me all sorts of shit about proof of purchase and, no we didn't mess up, I ended up keeping the stuff. Tried to do the right thing and just got yelled at by them. Never be honest with Amazon. Ever. Those undeserving of respect should not receive any. Old Jeffy boy had to wait an extra year to go to space because of you, I hope you're happy. LPT, don't be nice to publicly listed corporations. If you find a way to legally exploit them then do it and don't feel bad about it. Hubby worked at one of the food warehouses in the States. They would get deliveries and if the scanning sticker was missing, they would toss the product. Nights he worked, he brought it to the dumpster, but left it outside of it. People would just collect what they could carry to their cars when the shift was over. They knew on warmer days to keep coolers in their cars and on break, they went out to smoke and loaded the coolers. Hubby and a few others would text some soup kitchens, pantries to pop over. That was the only area that didn't have cameras or security. Almost nothing was ever trashed. One day 100 gallons of milk, a co-worker, teacher loaded it up for a school to use. Amazon really doesn't care about waste, and they do donate a lot of stuff close to expiring to homeless shelters. I love that you waited until you were sick of the items before you posted here. Like, even if they see post this and fix the prices, you already got your money's worth. Good on you. Same thing happened to me at Walmart yesterday. Ordered grocery pickup and found a pack of meat I didn't order in my bag. Over $13 worth. Tried to return it, but they wouldn't do a return without a receipt. My receipt didn't list the meat because I never ordered it and wasn't charged. So now we have enough ground beef for several extra meals. My mom's boyfriend just bought a cheapish TV soundbar like $130 or something and they sent him this surround sound assessed one worth about $400 and there was a note in there saying Happy Xmas. I think an employee was saying fuck it that day. Steal from Amazon. It is always morally correct. Once someone I know bought something from Amazon and they accidentally sent him 2 of them. So they contacted customer support and told them what happened. They said, oh we're sorry we made a mistake, we'll give you a refund. Amazon simply does not give a fuck. You have to understand the amount of money they are making is mind-boggling. I've had orders from Amazon never arrive, got a refund, and they still sent a replacement a week later after I specifically said I just needed a refund. Needless to say, I didn't complain. Mostly because this was the 3rd time they did this. I had one happen too with refunds. I got my friend a Switch for his birthday, but then I saw I got him the Gen 1 version. The Gen 2 version has better battery and he mainly plays mobile, so I purchased that and tried to refund the Gen 1 version. Unfortunately for me, it got shipped, so I told my friend to do a refund for me when he gets both and keep the Gen 2 one. He did the refund and I got the money in the bank, so everyone was nice and happy. That is until I noticed that a couple of weeks later Amazon refunded me twice. I was just waiting for their phone call or email telling me about their error, but it never came. Saved me a payment on my credit card bill. You tried to correct their mistake and they Karened you. Their loss is your gain. Amazon is a weird company. Amazon are horrible, they even treat their staff like crap too. I've got personal experience with that, I won't go into detail. Working in CS, there is a lot of people who don't take the hint of keep it, but getting mad about it seems bad on their side. There is an easy way to lower the cost of your shopping at Amazon Fresh. Go to Morrison's. Morrison's supply Amazon Fresh stores with all their produce. I had ordered one of those cheap cubby sets from Walmart once, probably around $50. Instead, they shipped me a really nice camping tent that was worth way more than the shelves. I called them to tell them their error and to see how they wanted to proceed with a trade. However, they wanted me to jump through hoops to return it to them. They actually wanted me to pay for shipping. I really don't think they understood what I was telling them had happened. In the end, I told them, never mind. We said, fuck it, and kept it. Most errors in your favor you can ignore and take advantage of. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head you should not ignore is a bank error in your favor. If you ever see such an error, call your bank immediately. Sounds like you may have found a couple lost leader items. Someone gets packages sent to my house all the time. I got maybe 30 packages in that last couple years. Amazon always says to keep the stuff. Maybe consider donating some of those super cheap toiletries. I bet with the pandemic, the shelters are near bursting. What if they did it on purpose? So that people come back again and again thinking they're screwing up. Big bad corp, as the old saying goes, somewhere in the books it's all accounted for. Years ago I got a charge in my bank account for not having the funds in my account for covering a small payment, around £15 maybe. Issue is I have over £200 at the time. I was heading into town anyway, so went into the bank. The woman just wouldn't listen. Told her over and over again that I had far above the funds needed. But she wouldn't listen, just kept saying that's standard charges for not having the funds. Eventually got a manager who immediately saw the error, apologized and refunded me. There's a locker near me that doesn't register the opening of one of the doors. So every time I order something and it's in that specific door, it doesn't register that the door was opened, and so I get a refund in 3 days. I've told them a number of times and they don't really care. They just apologize for my inconvenience. This Christmas everything I ordered went to that locker. And I bought an iPad Pro 11, an Apple Watch, a Mac Mini, an iPhone, a set AirPods Max, and Magic Mouse, a keyboard, and a bunch of other stuff. All of it refunded. Amazon are weird. But I'm not going to complain. Now you will never be able to know whether you were an unwitting participant in a psychology experiment conducted by Amazon. Undercharging people in a pre-selected group intentionally, then denying it when asked and seeing what happened. I was waiting for some headphones and a camera being delivered to a locker. Got an email saying the headphones had been delivered, but it was actually the camera. Try to explain this to the bot, who just ended up refunding me for the camera, which cost more than the headphones. I sent a high-end Ultrabook as faulty, £1,299, back to Amazon and they sent me a replacement. The tracking for the one I sent back didn't update for 3 weeks, so I reached out to them to check they'd received it. The associate was really lovely and confirmed that they'd received it back and that my refund was on its way. I said I'm not due a refund as I'd received a replacement, but they were having none of it. They couldn't be convinced that I'd received a replacement already. So yeah, that's how I got a Huawei MateBook Pro for £650. Had an Amazon package show up at our place with someone else's name but our address. Held onto it for a couple days and no one came looking for it. Then called Amazon. They told us to keep it or donate it. We opened it. It was a Nintendo Switch. Which was perfect because I actually wanted one. I was once honest that I received 2 dresses. I stupidly asked them what they wanted me to do and they kept harassing me to take time out of my day to drive it to a drop-off location, and eventually they had someone abruptly show up at my house to take it. God, don't be such a Boy Scout next time and call them about their low prices. Take the W next time and move along. Bezos can lose pennies all day. That's so wild. Amazon has the best freaking customer service in the States. They just take your word on everything. Praxis would have been buying every single one of those items in stock and giving them to your homeless neighbors. Let them eat fancy cheesecake on old Jeff's dime. This isn't your MC, it's the employees. They aren't paid enough to care about Bezos not being the richest man on earth. For all he cares, you got everything right and don't dare keep reporting it or someone will have to deal with the issue. Just today my mom got a 3-pack of something she ordered one of. Came with a very large red sticker telling the retailer to open the 3-pack and sell them individually.